Let's bring in our legal dream team today. See if they're as schemed as I am. Whitney Bone, great criminal defense attorney down in Orlando, Florida, joining us. Trinity Hundredmark right here in studio. Great to see you. And HLN law enforcement analyst Mike Brooks. Trinity, let me start with you. Okay, I understand a judge is the judge and the judge is the king of the courtroom or queen of the courtroom, right? But there's a federal law that was instituted to protect litigants like a brave member of the service who's in a nuclear submarine in danger, protecting all of us.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Vinny. The only interesting thing here is it looks like she filed her petition a year ago, so I'm not really sure in the timing of it all where the 90-day stay would have come in. Did it come in before? Is it just talking about now? But the judge is in a difficult situation. I mean, the child right now is in the care of somebody who has no custodial rights to her and no ability to have any custodial rights to her. So I can understand where the judge is conflicted at this point.
Well, how conflicted should the judge be, Whitney, when the reason mom doesn't have custody is because Children's Services went in and removed the child from that environment? We're always supposed to be talking about what's in the best interest of the child, not what's in the best interest of a bitter ex-mom.
Exactly. And that's exactly what the issue is here. What the judge is failing to consider is that this child is bonded to the child's current custodian. The judge isn't even considering that fact when she's just hustling to try to get the dad with a warrant put out for him, place the child with the mother. She's not thinking about the fact that what's best for this child is to be with the custodian that the child is bonded to. This child is called his current custodian, his new mom or his mom. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, Mike.
Is it the judge's ego? You know, is it Margaret No's ego that's in play here? That she thinks that she can override a federal law that protects servicemen from things like this?
And the thing is, it tells you something about the character of the father, that he is, in fact, responsible. And to me, that's the other part of the equation. Obviously, mom had issues with being responsible. Otherwise, you wouldn't have had the child removed in the first place. And from the cases we've seen, we know how difficult it is sometimes to remove a child from the custody of a biological parent. But let's not shortchange here the bond and the responsibility that a step-parent has. A stepmom still has the name mom.
They do, Vinny, and I certainly understand what you're saying, and it does seem clear that this child is bonded to the stepmom, but in a court of law, the only two people that have the right to be with the child are a mom and a dad, and without filing a separate action, which I doubt the stepmom has a right to do, I don't know that she has standing to complain about where custody of this child is. So that's what I'm saying about the judge being in a difficult spot, because the only two people that should have custodial rights over this child are mom and dad.
Now, basically, this judge is saying any member of the service, you know, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, your job for your country, you don't have rights. You don't have the same rights as someone who isn't brave enough to take on the job of protecting everything that we hold so dearly, right? Our system of justice and democracy and everything else doesn't exist without the members of the Navy, the Army, the Air Force, the Marines. It just doesn't exist. So to shortchange their rights in our system of justice is, to me, the ultimate slap in the face.
Hey, Judge No, take a look at the Civil Relief Act. Why don't you, are you familiar with that? Take a look at it. Read it.
Up next, the most talked about story on our Facebook page.